Hello all, welcome back to my channel. And today I am doing a review of a film called A Scratching Sound, which was released in 2019 by director Eric Warwaruk. And it runs for about an hour and 51 minutes. So the storyline goes so, recovering drug addict Ive is struggling to find redemption through his Narcotics Anonymous meetings and volunteerism. But when he starts to see his dead girlfriend Misty, who died after they both took an experimental street drug, Ive starts to struggle as if he's still experiencing the effect of the drug, or is he losing his sanity? As his investigation into finding the drug dealer Mike, who sold him the drugs, accelerates and his dead girlfriend urges him to act on murderous impulses, he discovers a more sinister plan at work. This is a disturbing and somewhat distorted film about addictions and how insidious this disease can be, not only to the addict, but those around them as well. So it dives into frightening realizations of the struggle and failures that addicts have to go through day after day. And unfortunately, in this instance, a couple get caught up in a never ending cycle that is addiction, and only one of them survives. Watching the intimate point of view of Ive was enthralling and devastating to watch at the same time. It's a relevant story that I'm sure will hit a nerve with many people who view this film. The film is gritty, it's raw, and it's fraught with high tension intensity that ebb and flow, especially regarding Ives' challenges to overcome not only his cravings for drugs, but the fact he's guilt ridden for surviving when his girlfriend Misty didn't, after partaking in experimental street drugs together. So Ives' characterization is well thought out and executed, and the actor played his role with total dedication. The close up shots of his decline in health and mental decompensation are visceral at times, as we see the terror, the regret, insanity manifest in his expressions, which sometimes speaks louder than words. There are moments of surrealism where the edges are blurred between what is real and what is imagined, especially when it comes to Misty, her chilling whispers from the grave, sobbing in the woods, and her visitations to Ive. The tension and suspense are raised to the maximum. Since this is a longer film, it gives the viewer time to invest in Ive's character. However, I do feel the film could have been condensed, as towards the end it just got a tad bit convoluted. In fact, I felt some of the scenes did become long winded in certain places, but in saying so, the twists and turns were enough to keep me motivated to continue watching. So, the main thread is that Ive is on a mission to hunt down the drug dealer he knows only as Mike to find out what he put in the drugs that caused the death of Misty. Ive makes an unexpected visit to Mike's nightclub. So when we first meet one of the drug enforcers slash security guards, which is played by Mark Kaisak, we know that Mike is going to be some macho drug dealer, and he's clearly not a man to be messed with. He talks a lot, but his diatribe actually makes perfect sense. He tells us what we probably knew all along, and that is the lesson to help spread the message that about the consequences of messing with drugs and other addictive substances of the like. So it's a risk you have to take it's a risk you take when you consume drugs. It's a gamble of hit and miss. Sometimes it's a good fix, but it can end in a catastrophe. I also liked the fact that Ive has obstacles to overcome, as it makes the film more believable. No matter how much he is willing to change his ways, the cravings never cease, and this is shown well throughout the film. When he is continuously being tempted by other people around him, along the way he's prompted by Misty's ghost to eradicate certain people, adding horror into the story arc. So there are some intriguing characters we meet along the way. There's Madame Z, who is pivotal to this story, as is Paul Lamb, the farm owner, who I've meets through Narcotics Anonymous counselor. So his cokehead boss is a no good drug addict himself who daily pushes Ives to participate in his nasty habit of the white snow powder. It prompts Ive to take drastic action. Ive volunteers to be a buddy for Stephen. Interesting uh, turn in the film, who happens to have disabilities. And helping Stephen seems to be therapeutic for Ive. So I like the addition of Stephen into the story arc. Then we meet Detective Hike, sorry, who is an enigma to solve all by himself, because he becomes integral in certain places throughout the film. So the ending sequence, we learn how Detective Hike is involved. It's a very revelatory scene, but it also took surrealism a little too far for me, that I wondered if it may have been slightly rushed. The angle that was threaded into the story arc felt forced, whereas the other instances of illusions throughout the film felt more effective and captivating. But in saying so, the ending was totally unexpected, and at the same time, it did add something very sinister to this already packed film. Overall, this is good enough for me to recommend watching. There are so many good points, elements, imagery, twists and turns, psychedelic art, side characters, and the concept kept me invested in the film. The storyline was easy to grasp and the plot thick. The cinematography was brilliant with many different perspectives. I appreciated the changes in the tones and moods enhanced by the choice of musical pieces, grueling sound effects, and elaborate color changes. It really captures the destruction caused by addiction in a really horrifying way. So, if you have a couple of hours to kill, give this one a go. Um, it's a it's a profound film. Um, I look forward to more from this filmmaker in the future. This is the first time I've reviewed any of his work. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on him and see what else he's got coming up. I will link a trailer, YouTube trailer to the description of this video. However, it doesn't appear, I can't find out where to watch it. So whether or not it's still around, as I got a screener copy, I hope so. Um, uh, Mark Kazak, if you're watching this, if you could let me know where we can watch this, that would be great. Or if I can share the screener copy. Um, Other than that, it really had a good point, I think. And what I like about horror is that, of course, it elaborates on warnings, messages, and this one shows just how disturbing it can be when you're at that age where you're experimenting with drugs, and hopefully somebody will benefit from watching this and will change the way they are conducting themselves for their for the best, for their well-being, really, basically. So yeah, that's been my review of A Scratching Sound. I love the title, by the way. um and yeah, just check out the trailer, see what you think, and yeah, that's been my review. And until next time, stay safe, take care out there, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.